And I know I've been one of your haters. I have to say this on camera. I've been one of the haters of you guys because I didn't understand. How do you guys build something so big without money? There must be a story here. And now that I've got the platform, I'm going to ask, where did the money come from?
This is the Hustler's Corner.
Hey, hello world, welcome to the Hustler's Corner. This is virtual Mkhukhu. We're doing it all the way from the homegrown farm in Centurion today in front of a live audience, and it's a chill setup. I'm quite excited that at least once in a while Spumile Masantin nasema Rosebank size plazi, you know, sike size nje ukunuka koblongo, you know, ukunuka cross imbuzi kancane. But it's a beautiful environment because there's food stalls here, there's different entrepreneurs that are exhibiting different products, sauces, spices. There's people that are owning their own catering companies that are here. I'm seeing different stalls, man. I'm even seeing property development companies that are here, real estate companies that are here. I'm seeing all sorts of different people. I want to give a big shout out to Umama Wetu. Umama Africa, yes, mama ngicela ukuthi uze kahle hle, hayi no ma. Ngicela uze just for 1 minute ma. Uzobingelela abantu bethu ma, esingajabula kanjani ma. Ngoba siya recorda manje. She has been an inspiration for many decades for us. She hasn't only been successful in South Africa, but she has been respected all over the continent. Till today, she continues to do incredible work. She's brought up an incredible family. But she's our role model why some of us are in the music industry today. Ladies and gentlemen, a very big round of applause to Umama Yvonne Chaka Chaka. I hope umqombothi woza emadlamini akutla. Sabona ma.
Hello mntana mnjani?
Sikhona. Should I give you this? I think take this one. Ngoba mina izwi lami liyakhokhoza.
Okay. Liyazekezeka.
Akusibo umsekeseke.
Ninjani bantwana bami? Angnizwa. Local is very, very lekker. So it's nice when you see young people hustling and doing everything that they do. And I'm just so proud of you guys. I'm so proud of you, and we're here to support and just to say, you know what? We've done it when it was not easy, when it was not fashionable, and now we are proud to buy and wear what is done at home. And that's what we need to do over and over again. And in the next couple of months, you'll be seeing Chaka Chaka homeware everywhere.
Yo! Bangene,
Mina ngiyabangena. Did you know that I was a partner at Sundown Motors? Mina ngiyabangena nini. Nizosala nikamsile la. Sharp sharp.
Thank you, ma'am. We love you. Ladies and gentlemen, the great Mama Yvonne Chaka Chaka. Siyabonga ma, siyakuthanda. Thank you, ma'am. God bless you. Thank you, ma'am. All right, let's get things started. And here is my partner, my brother, Mr. Penuel the Black Pen. Welcome to the homegrown farm.
Excellent, Grants Budastin.
Top Togozi, look around.
Jeez, I'm too excited to be here. I can feel the energy. I can feel the buzz. Having a legend like Umama Yvonne here. I don't know. I'm lost for words. We've got a legend from years. We've got a legend for now, for the future, Lekau. I'm excited about my future. I'm excited about everyone who's here at Homegrown. As I said earlier, so many beautiful faces. Black Africans that own land and that are developing land and making land productive, for me, is probably the most exciting thing and is meant to inspire other people to do the same. It's Nomhlabe Makaya. And if people can come to places like Homegrown, they can come and learn how to go home and build radio stations and build event spaces as well. So I'm excited. I'm looking forward to our interview today. Thank you, Spuda.
I'm excited too, and I'm looking forward to this interview. And before it starts, I'd like to bring my business partner. And I know she doesn't want to be on camera. She's never on camera, but I'm putting on the spot. Desiree, I know you don't want to be on camera. Just to say hello to the people. She is the person that runs this place. This place needs a lot of work. We farm here. She'll tell us what we farm here, the different products that we have here, and what it takes to run such a big farm. She's an incredible lady. Back in the day, she's been hustling. She was running the Pick and Pay in Kliptown. Some of you guys who remember that Pick and Pay in Kliptown, it was hers. She moved on to start a telecoms business. She moved on to partner with us to start Leadership 2020. She's just been that sister who's looked after us in business as our business partner, and we've done some incredible things together. And as the person that runs this place, umama wa laikaya, before siqala izinto no Lekau, mele nje introduce umama qala simbonge nokuthi just to say hello to our audiences. Ladies and gentlemen, I might do great things in public, but behind the scenes, there's great people that look after me, and some of those people are people like Osis Desiree. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Desiree Thomas on camera. Ubingelela abantu Desiree, please.
Sanibonani, thank you, Sbu. How's Sbu? Into yenzayo manje.
Use this one.
Everything was going so smoothly. Come on. Thank you. Just want to say thank you to everyone for being here with us. Trusting us with this invite to say come and join us on the farm, homegrown farm. This is also your home. This is where we educate youngsters to be on air, to develop as leaders. This is where we mentor young people in business and any form of entrepreneurship that they want to venture into. This is also a place where we partner with other people that are interested in working together. We have to build our black nation. We have to come together, build our economy, and stand together. I always say sometimes we don't even need to like each other, but we must work with each other. Yes. It's the only thing that's going to give us freedom, economic freedom. And that's it from my side. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, Desiree Thomas. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Mama Walaikaya. I've seen him come from nothing. He's told me his story before. He told me how he grew up in the, we call it the dusty golden streets of Tembisa. Other people say it's Tembisa, man, but I want to claim. It's Ivory, it's Amarinte Iwani Mustan. Ladies and gentlemen, he's built his company from scratch, and he's still in the beginning stages. He continues to become an inspiration in the country. He's young, he's incredible, he's dynamic. He's gone on to build and introduce other different shoe products, and he's even evolving from shoes. Now they're doing cologne, they're moving into doing kids' clothes, kids' shoes. They're moving into all sorts of different products. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome founder of Drip Footwear, Mr. Lekau Sehoana.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take a seat. How are you doing, my brother?
I'm highly blessed and favored. And how are you?
No, I'm grand. Angeke usho ukuthi uyo lo muntu bekamphunga lapha eIvory. Uyakhumbula nasese intwana sakhule kazi besimphunga kanjani nje? How you doing, my brother?
Man, I'm blessed. Thanks for the invitation. This is a beautiful place. Everyone is looking beautiful, and yeah.
Thank you. I think let's get things started. A lot of people want to know, who is this guy that's doing all of this incredible work? I know I've asked you a story before, but maybe let's summarize the story and then maybe just dwell on talking the entrepreneurship language. Maybe for the next 5-10 minutes, just share with us your story for those who don't know it.
My name is Lekau Sehoana. I come from Ivory Park, a township that is being claimed by Tembisa and being rejected by Midrand. Yeah, so I come from humble beginnings, from not having anything, in informal settlement. So informal settlement in townships, so there are formal dwellings and then there are informal settlements. So when you stay in informal settlement, you are worse. You know, even though we stay in both in shacks, but informal settlements are the worst. So I come from there. Extreme poverty. Mom and dad divorced when I was 2 from Limpopo. We moved to Joburg. And when I was in grade 8 in 2003, going into a big school, that's when I realized that we're actually poor at home. Because I see other kids actually wearing branded labels, the chase, it's abona, you know, during CVs, they actually come wearing, you know, the Cavella, all those expensive clothes. And that's when I was like, okay, I don't have money for food. I come from primary where the government was feeding us. Now I have to have money in my pocket. That's when I started being conscious about poverty and who I was. And I started, you know, closing in and not being social with other kids. And me being so antisocial, I started started reading business books. So I started saying, what is it that's going to take me and my family out of this situation? And I was young, and fashion was actually my calling. Started designing my own clothes, started making my own shoes using denim, using polyurethane, recycled materials. And I would sell to other students as well. 5 years of my high school career, I was actually just selling clothes, so the guy that actually owns this brand, Namanje, is one of the guys that actually met back in the day at Rema Bible Church, and were, designing clothes. So that's where I come from, and that's how my entrepreneurial back actually beat me.
Geez, Lekau, from my side, I cannot fathom the success that you guys have had. How we appreciate the story. How do you start reading business books? Were you an academic student? And from the business books and from Ukpesha Majin, how then do you decide, I actually think I want to do sneakers?
So what I did was, I was actually more of a fashion guy more than anything. There's actually a picture of me that I posted drunk, laying on the floor, and I had a mohawk. So I was a fashionable guy back in the day. And clothing is too broad. Anyone can make a t-shirt brand, anyone can, So, and me going back into founding Drip, I was in a space of what is it that I can do in the fashion space. But I wanted to actually do a product, just one product that people can actually focus on, and a branded product, not just a t-shirt, but something that can actually grow. And as you know, Nike, how it was started, I started reading all those stories. I listened to hip hop, I love Kanye West. I started, doing my research around what product I can actually do, and which became sneakers.
How far is the distance in the story between you and Ipatu? Because I know as an outsider personally, I first heard of Ipatu. I started making a lot of friends at Tembisa. There was a lady who owned a nail salon, the Ulala Queen. There was a lady, I think she's done some of your balloons for your events with Tirale. So
yeah. They
used to speak about you a lot. Lekau, watch this guy is coming. I'm like, I don't know. I know this Theo guy with Ipatu.
Yeah.
Is there any connection between you guys? What's the gap between your stories? Why do your stories seem so similar?
It's the township story, my brother. We all come from humble beginnings in the townships. Our stories will obviously be similar. My story of poverty is not just unique to me. Almost every black person in South Africa comes from that story. And there'll obviously be similarities there. So I came, I think, 3 years after Batu. 3-4 years after Batu, and actually when I was just doing my research, that's when I bumped into him, checked his story as well as like and I actually paused for a moment as like, should I do this or not? And because it was the only thing that I had lost everything in my life during the Drip times, and that's when I was like, okay, let me just do it and continue with it. So obviously there are going to be similarities because we're all black and we come from the township. So yeah.
Utios from Alex. You're from Tembisa, which are two different townships, especially for Tinis Zulu that don't know the differences. You guys have inspired a lot of kids. I see so many sneaker brands now, and I'm listening to you saying you hesitated, wondering, should I do this thing? And I think one of the beautiful stories that has come out from yours and Uthio is the fact that we can all coexist.
Absolutely.
And I love what Desiree said, that we don't have to like each other to work together. And that's called professionalism, which is something we all need to learn because there's so much value we can get from each other. I really hope in the work that you're doing, you can inspire more kids to create. And I know one of the pieces of advice I normally give entrepreneurs who have already got successful businesses is, if there are kids that are up and coming and you can see the hunger in them, please try and see if you can invest and co-own the business, because I think that's one of the hacks that a lot of Jewish business people get right. You get there with an idea and an old Jewish man will say, I believe in you, let me put up some startup capital, and then from there, I'll own a stake. I'm just going to give examples. The guys that founded Nando's were funded, I think, by the guys at SAB, a small stake. They became big, and then when someone called Carlo Gonzaga founded Taste Holdings with Scooter's Pizza, he went to the Nando's founders and they owned a stake of his business. And in that way, if Taste Holdings is making money, Nando's is making money. If Nando's is making money, the guys at SAP are making money. And I hope that in the work that you guys are doing, you're going to invest in a lot of these kids, because it's Drip today. There might be a kid tomorrow who makes the equivalent of whatever other brand. And we're going to find out that you own a stake, and I'm going to be quite excited about that. And I think my last question before I hand over to Usbu is, we speak a lot about the funding, and I know I've been one of your haters. I have to say this on camera. I've been one of the haters of you guys because I didn't understand, how do you guys build something so big without money? There must be a story here, and now that I've got the platform, I'm going to ask, where did the money come from?
The chest pains.
Look, the money comes from shoes. The funding part is way too painful for us, especially for me right now. I don't know about the others. I started Drip with 4,600 rands, and I built a good relationship with the factory. Something a lot of people fail to do in business most of the times. You get the money, you think all the money is yours. You forget that some of the money doesn't belong to you. You have suppliers, you have employees, you have operational costs. You eat all the money. And I built a good relationship. The first 26 pairs of Drip that I got them for free from the factory as a prototype. I advertised those shoes.
Jeez.
It trended on social media. My first interview on radio, I didn't even have the product. I only had the prototype. I created a pre-order on my online store. People started pre-ordering. I had a minimum order quantity of 600 pairs.
Jeez.
And I started selling the shoes without even having them, just online on Twitter, doing interviews without the product. By the time in 6 weeks was done, I had the product and I was just delivering the product. That's how I raised my money. There's a story of me having borrowed money from people and equity. I had the product. I had 1,200 pairs of shoes that I actually had to release, and I was short with money. I borrowed money from the guy, and then I went and released my shoes. I didn't get funding from anyone. Getting funding from people is actually good. They say in business you must use other people's money.
Yes.
It's said that in my position, even today, there's like even the cars that we own at work, like we couldn't even get credit for them because of my background of not having anything, of not having credit in my previous life. Right now, we're actually expanding the business. We have the Drip Group, we have Kiddies Republic, we have Domain, which is a denim brand. All those businesses are in-house funded. We don't have anyone that is funding that. Each and every cent that we raise from Drip, we actually build another business on the side. It affects cash flow, of course, but because we're from the street, we understand how it works. We understand social media so well. That's where we actually are building our businesses. We don't have funding. On the billboards that we see, it's us getting from the product and then just trying to advertise so people can actually buy, and it's working for us.
Jeez, well done, Lekau. Well done.
Wow.
Thank you.
I think it touched on something very incredible when it comes to business. I haven't seen you driving a Ferrari. I haven't seen any fancy cars yet. Obviously, one day, when you feel you're comfortable enough to get one or two of those. But I'm sure and I know that you can afford them. And a lot of us get too excited as entrepreneurs when success does come, Penuel. We rush into spoiling ourselves, Where does the discipline come from to focus on rather growing the business before you spoil yourself with toys? Or is it a conscious decision?
I don't want to go back. The one thing about me is that I don't want to go back. I come a long way with this business. I come a long way with poverty. It's the most sensitive thing in my family. I come from a family of 4. My mom is divorced. We come from a shack. The first time my mom saw a brick house was when I bought it with the Drip money.
Come on. Come on.
No way. So there's no way I can start by doing things to please people without fixing first at home. My brother is launching his own business, a franchise. It's called Makoya Fish and Chips. We're rolling that out from the Drip money. So that is us saying we have to build a legacy now within me and my family before we can start now, living the best life. My best life right now is business. I don't want to go back.
Jeez, well done, Lekau.
Wow. And I think while this interview continues, I would like to, Major Keys, Keanu, do me a favor, get a pen and go to all the local businesses that are here, including those that are not exhibiting. Write down all of their businesses so that towards the end of this episode, I can promote their businesses on camera, because we're going to play this episode on our platform. And I would like to appreciate everybody that has become a part of the Hustlers Corner. Everybody that is subscribed. It's a beautiful community that is growing. We are learning so much from one another. We're learning from all of our different guests that we keep inviting. And just by a show of hands, is there anyone here who is a subscriber of the Hustlers Corner podcast? Oh, wow. There's a lot of you guys. Wow. Oh, give yourselves a round of applause. That's dope. Anybody here knows a platform called Virtual Mkhukhu? Oh, wow. VM, sure. No, we appreciate it. How do you feel? Your baby's growing.
Oh, it's not my baby's Buddha.
It's
our
8
baby.
episodes.
Well, there's 3 of us here who are the proud parents. And obviously, we're going to be sharing our baby with the world. We're calling them our virtual squatters. We're very happy to see some of you here. When you asked Lekau when he got you how he felt, he said he was feeling highly favored and blessed. And then he mentioned one of his partners being someone that he met at Rema. So when you asked him, what keeps you going, I was hoping that he'd also touch on maybe his beliefs. Has religion been a big part of that? Has Christianity and your faith been a big part of that?
It's funny because I was actually sharing the story just 2 days ago. So I grew up at the CC. I'm back in Limpopo, at home. And my grandmother took me to church one day. And I was prophesied to say I was going to be the wealthiest in the family.
Jeez.
So this is a guy who's staying in a shack, who's struggling. So each and every business, remember, I failed for 16 years. I've been doing business. I've had so many businesses that failed. Each and every business that I attempted, I was like, it's the one. And it flopped. And I was like, continue that prophecy. But I never really given up on God. You know, I'm a believer. My mom is a very strong black praying woman. So I come from that background of Christianity, church, belief. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Lekau. The other thing I also heard, you keep saying we're building side businesses from drip money. My brother's building Makoya fish and chips from drip money. You guys have high margins. Because I know that's one of the questions as umuntu odlelwa ama chest pain that comes out. And I don't know if this is stuff that's worth discussing on camera. What are your margins, number one? And then number two, kona ma chest pain azoncipha. A lot of us would love to invest in drip. A lot of us would like to invest in Apatu. I think one of the reasons I am a hater of the success is because I'm not involved in it. And I want to be involved. I want, when I see the billboards that I drive past and I'm a chest pain, I want to be like, no, that's... I'm involved in that and I'm excited. What Desiree said, we don't have to like each other to work with each other. And I love that so much. I just want to say quickly, I met Desiree 2008. She was working with a very good brother of mine, Mlothswa. At Pick and Pay. Too well.
That's my brother.
So the world is becoming smaller, and I think it's nice to be a hater on a platform today. And I think as time goes on and I build a stronger relationship with Lekau, we can then tell a funny story about this guy used to hate on my business and my success, and today we work together. So I just wanted to know about the margins that you guys make, that invest in other businesses as well, and getting people to invest.
Sadly, I can't divulge the margins. But, you know, when you build a business, I actually knew that the business was going to grow and how you actually price the product. When you start a business, you might start with maybe making a profit of 40%. But as the business grows, the profit also goes low. You know, the percentage lowers because of what? Because of the operations. You're opening more stores, you employ more people, you're making more shoe boxes, more paper bags, and yeah. Whatever that we make most of the time to just reinvest and mostly into the business. Like you can see right now, we have Finesse, which is, you know, a product so that people can actually just fill into the basket when they come to the shop. The sneaker cleaners, releasing socks. We also have drip kits that we're going to be launching soon. It's a standalone store for kids that's just gonna sell Kiddies sneakers. Also investing in our own guys that actually design sneakers and make sneakers right now. So just trying to reinvest back into the business by any means necessary.
Jeez, thank you. How do we invest in Drip and in what Drip is doing and in you?
I think let's just wait up until you go public, which is not gonna be
far from now.
Far from now. We're busy with the board right now. We created the board. Remember, I left Drip Footwear. I'm now chairman of the Drip Group, which oversees Drip Footwear, which oversees Finesse, which oversees Kiddies Republic, which is launching 300 stores from July this year, rolling out 300, and Domain, which is rolling out 170 stores. So I'm the chairman that is overlooking the whole Drip Group. So yeah, soon.
How are you guys affording the stores? Nah,
we sell already from the money of the...
We sell products.
They sell product.
We have 20 stores nationwide.
Can you
200
divulge
employees.
at least how many sneakers you guys sell per month?
No, man.
no.
Come
No,
on.
no, no, no.
The hate
Okay,
okay.
No, I think, sorry, Spuda, just to jump in. I think, look, I'm saying I hate her just as a term.
No, I know. I'm joking. Yeah.
I think it's important because there are haters out there. Umama spoke about Umona doesn't do anything for us. And I want everyone who's going to be watching this episode, who's sitting out there being like, these guys are lying. They don't. I want them to know that their questions were asked. They're going to hear now that the group is going to go public at some point. So they might be haters, but people are going to be making money from the brand. There are people that are employed by the brand. There's plans to expand. There's other businesses that are being funded. So I think the reason I'm asking these questions, the reason we ask questions for our virtual squatters is because people do ask these questions whenever you see some of the ads. So it's important that we do ask them for education and also to try and kill the hate so that people can understand that we're all working together and we're all trying to win together.
I love that, man. And where's this brand going? Because now you're what, like 4 years old, ne?
3, we're turning 3 this year.
Turning 3. They're only 2 years old, guys. Yo. That's a chance, Marayaz.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so proud of you guys. You guys are very, very, very inspiring. So where are you going? What's the vision?
To take over, you will see right now we've actually tapped into sports. We're working, sponsoring the Imperial Lions. We're sponsoring in the PSL's Mkhukhu United. We have our own soccer team, Black Eagles, that's playing in the ABC Motsepe League. So now we're actually tapping into sports. So that should give you an idea of what we're about to do next, right? Yeah, so we're tapping into sports. We're going to see more sports apparel. And then we also have an international collaboration that's happening this year, big. And we actually have 2. An international collaboration with a brand, international collaboration with a sports person, international. So yeah, now we're tapping into sports, we're taking international.
I'd like for you to speak to the entrepreneurs that are all here in terms of scaling up. A lot of us, difficult as it is to start a business, what is more difficult is, as the business has been running for a couple of years, is to scale up. Because we end up getting into a comfort zone because of a certain turnover that we make. And we sort of get comfortable with it because we are making a living, we are paying our expenses, we're paying the employees, and we end up basking in that comfort zone for the next 5, 6, 7 years without even having to have the vision of wanting to scale up because maybe we're either scared or maybe something might go wrong, or maybe just not having that drive to want to even grow the company further. And it is possible to grow it further. Because if you're somebody else, right now you could be just enjoying the success. You're already doing well. Instead of investing and starting another business, why don't you just keep it as is and just enjoy yourself and start spoiling yourself with beautiful toys?
Quite important, because our vision was to build a conglomerate. Our vision was to go corporate, build a business that is huge, that South Africans can actually relate to, and make our intentions clear. It's not just to create a sneaker and then that's it, but to build businesses and also grow and create employment. My biggest issue is youth employment. And I said I wanted to create 1,000 jobs in 5 years, so I'm under pressure there. So that is us saying we can actually contribute. Like, what are we doing? Is this the end? Are we just going to build businesses, buy cars and houses, go on holidays? Is that it? No, it's not. Let us build legacy projects, legacy businesses that can actually outlive us. Like, when I started selling Drip, I was actually the one that was doing deliveries. Today, I don't even spend time in meetings at Drip. I do other things, and that is how we actually build a business with structures to say it can actually exist without me, and that allows you to say, oh, okay, cool, I can spend time at creative. What other product can we actually do and offer? We already have captured the Drip market. What is that you can also sell to them? Or you can sell a perfume, or you can sell socks, or you can actually create a denim brand because you don't want a Drip to have a denim, and then call it domain. Oh, kids, there's a huge market there, and there's a gap. Oh, you know what I mean? So, like, we see all these opportunities, and then actually are grabbing them.
Lovely. Now, let's talk about the products that you've just released, by the way. Congratulations. You just launched 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. I can see them there on the table. Start with any of them. Just orientate us around the new product.
So, we have the perfume. We have the perfume. This is Ruby. and DJ Zintle and Meda Bongs, her partner, are actually the face of Finesse. So Finesse is not just the name of the perfume, but it's a cosmetics brand as well. So that is under the Drip Group that we actually growing. So you're gonna see more. We're gonna launch more perfumes. We're gonna launch more products as well. But so this is the start of a new company under the Drip Group. So this is Ruby, and then this is Arayon. This has the jasmine notes. That one is more woody and spicy. So yeah, it's now available at all the Drip stores, available online at finesse.co.za, finesse.sa.co.za. So yeah, we're trying to grow.
Rick, my brother, may your soul rest in peace. Shoot. Yo. So as Lekau is walking in, just before I greet him, there's just that. Guys, as a guy, it doesn't matter how you dressed, but there's just something about a guy that smells good, you know? We has no more
Sure.
So the way it the perfume hypnotize. So as he's about to greet me when he walks in, I'm really like, that is dope, bro. Because a lot of colognes are not as strong. Some people mix colognes for themselves, which is a good thing. That's entrepreneurship. But the quality doesn't stay that long. You pour it, maybe a few hours later, even before 12, before lunchtime, say pelile mzimbeni. What's different about Finesse?
What's different is I actually wanted to create something for a guy like me. Because I used to go to people and they're like, yo, and I was like, there's an opportunity there. You can smell like me. I can create a product and sell it to you and also smell like me. But my problem with my skin is that it actually kills cologne. So I can actually wear a cologne right now. In 2 hours, it's gonna be finished because of my acid on my skin. So we actually use me, as an example to say, okay, want something that's gonna last. So yeah, that's what stands out about the colognes that actually last longer because we're actually using me and my skin as an example.
As the case study.
Yeah.
Jeez, thank you.
How do you handle the pressure from the opposite sex? Are you married? Or are you taken?
Married to the brand.
Come on.
I'm way too focused. Like there's no time. The most important thing in my life right now is time. Yeah, like I don't have time. I don't have time for anything. I even stopped drinking alcohol because I just wanted to focus on the brand.
Solid.
So yeah.
A lot of people don't know the story of the Adidas and Puma. Two brothers from Germany.
Is it Adidas and Puma or Adidas and Nike?
Adidas and Puma.
Okay.
Yeah.
Two brothers from Germany who initially had a clothing brand. I don't know if it was a sneaker brand. And then they split at some point and they had two brands and they've coexisted and become huge international brands. And I think one of the questions I wanted to ask to Lekau, because it's something that's crossed my mind at some point, will there ever be a collaboration between yourselves and Ipatu as an example?
Theo is my brother. We speak, we meet, and we talk, we share ideas. They say success is quite lonely, but not for us because I actually have Theo. So about collaborations, I don't know. Yeah, we've never really spoken about that and then said, my brother, let's collaborate about something. But we definitely speak. We speak, we share ideas. He asked me, how is that mall doing? Do you think I can open a shop? Yeah, you can. I also do the same. So yeah, that's how we actually collaborate behind the scenes.
I think, so Lekau, I heard you didn't mention anything about tertiary when you were telling your story. And when I look at a business at this scale, in my mind, I'm just wondering, do you have a mentor? Did you go to tertiary? Do you do courses? Building business systems, I know, is something very hectic. I know Sbu did mention scaling. So what's driving you? What keeps you educated in terms of running a business, especially at this level?
I actually spent a lot of my time in high school reading business books. You know, those were things that I was actually just doing. And sadly, I failed my matric. You know, I failed 2 subjects, mathematics and computer studies. But I went back in 2008, rewrote, failed computer, passed matric, but I made it. So, but then...
S.
Yeah, so yeah, that is me. And then from there, like I felt as if like my peers were far gone, were adverts, UJ, and like obviously didn't pass well. So I had to make a plan. And with my business experience of fashion, I started trying a cleaning services company. I had a chicken farm, I had a chicken grill. I've done so many other things that actually failed in that 16 years of me being in business. So in 2013, I went back to school, because everything that I had started was just failing and I needed capital. So I studied civil engineering, NQF level 3, 4, NQF level 2, 3, and 4, and an FET college, EWC Kotembis. So that is what I did from there, got a construction job. You know, that's what I'm also doing right now on the side, but not construction, but property development. Solid. So that is me going back to what I studied. So yeah, I have that type of education, and I think I do have mentors. I have DJs Boo here who I call whenever I have issues, or if I want to pick a brain. I know Cesar Romo, Trevor Noah. Those are people that I'm able to just access whenever, you know, things are looking down on me.
Jeez, thanks a lot, Lekau. I think I'm inspired listening. 16 years of what you call failed business is 16 years of education in business in itself. I think the concept of mentorship is fundamentally important for people to understand out there. Going to school, of course, and formalizing some of these things. And I think for me, I had a last question. I've lost it.
In the meantime, now say, ladies and gentlemen, Lekau Sehoana. You can give him a round of applause. As we wrap it up with Lekau, we are proud of you. Lekau, you inspire us. Lekau, we are proud that there is this beautiful culture of entrepreneurship that is growing in South Africa. Our children are here. They are playing by the jumping castles outside. My daughter is here. She's listening to this entire interview. I'm seeing a lot of you guys are here with your kids. When our kids drive past, or we're driving them wherever, and they're looking through the window, Daddy Drip, Daddy Drip. That's how it's supposed to be. Just like when we were fighting and saying, we need our kids to watch TV and see people that look like us, so they can believe that one day they can become somebody as well. The other day when I was recording your billboards, hey, awudlalanga ke plus lapha eSandton. Ngathi wenza ngamabongo for le ngam lokuthi mele sazi ukuthi akufikile. Hey eSandton, ubani odlulela lapha M1 lapha ngase eSandton all the way to Econet. Yo. Lapha ngathi ngaro uyirelate swele. And what was the strategy of the billboards? Because somebody else can say, no guys, I can already tell because I'm in business. I've been in business for quite some time. I understand how expensive outdoor advertising is.
Yeah.
Was there a strategy to say, let's go all out on outdoor advertising? Because if it was me, I probably would have been scared and be like, no, why don't we take maybe half of that budget and let's go digital? Maybe let's take 80% of the budget and go billboard. Well, how was that discussion like in the boardroom? And how did you guys come up with making sure that it's just all over shows?
I think one of the best things that we actually did was to actually do outdoor, and the way that we actually did it. I got so many calls from so many people saying, no, what you did is wrong. That's not how it's done. And I'm like, the problem is that you guys have been doing it wrong.
Come on.
It's not that I'm doing it wrong.
Come on.
You know? So, and the amount of B2B that we have out of those billboards is insane. You know, and most of the times, someone actually saw our King Shaka Airport billboard, because we also have one at the King Shaka Airport.
How long?
Yeah. You know, it's and someone said, yeah, but you actually just walk past that, you don't even see it. And I said, the relevant people actually call us, and we do business with them, because we're actually doing it for a certain market and for certain people. So yeah, there's a strategy there, a big one, and it's working. And even when we actually launched Finesse, and at night, in the morning at 9 a.m., the billboard was already up at Marlboro.
Yeah.
So there's a strategy there as well. So yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations to this brother. Before we let him go, Penuel's last question, and I'd like to give a roving mic to the audience. Maybe let's take about 5 questions. Yeah, let's give 5 questions to the audience. Can we have a roving mic? Keanu, Tobani, can we get a mic to the audience? Or I can go to the audience, I don't mind. Anybody with a question for Lekau, and then I can have a camera that follows me to the audience. Okay. I seen Vezene TV.
My name is Aratwa. What is your question today?
Okay, my question is to you. I see you and Batu, you are brothers, name, and the brand of Batu, you and the guy Theo are brothers. So I'd like to ask you, do you see yourself collaborating with Batu anytime soon?
I actually answered that question not so long ago, but I said we currently actually collaborating behind the scenes in terms of business, in terms of sharing ideas, but in terms of us doing a sneaker together or something like that, we've never really spoken about it. But we share a lot of ideas into how do we grow. And if maybe he's in a mall that I'm not in, I actually call him and say, how's your store doing there? If it's not doing well, it's like, no, don't go there. So that is the type of collaboration that we actually do with Batu currently.
How are you?
I'm very well, thanks. How are you?
I'm great. My name is Waratwa. What is your question today?
Well, it's more of a comment than a question. I'd basically like to say, you know, when they always say, Guti, you buy a story instead of the product. To be honest, I don't own a pair of Drip, but after the story that I've heard, I think I'm more into now going to buy the story. So I think I'll own a couple of pair of Drip. And one thing I've learned and one thing I've picked up from today's interview is that as an entrepreneur, you actually need to be extremely aggressive. And that is what I've learned from Drip, that they are extremely aggressive, and that is what has gotten them to where they are today. Thank you.
Lovely. Another question. Let me take 2 more. Okay. Go to the lady with the white top. You must smile when you speak to her. You must never have your back onto the camera. This way. You must always, the camera must be in front of you.
Hello. How are you?
I'm awesome. How are you?
I'm great. My name is Waratwa. What is your question?
Hi, my name is Mlothswa, all the way from Davidson. So my question to you, Mr. Lekau, is as a business person, I have been struggling myself. So how do you deal with those struggles, whether it's mental struggles? So when you're facing problems in your business, how do you deal with it working alone and trying to push that project you want to push?
Thank you. We work in collaboration, and the person that actually created that collaboration mentality at Drip is Ausdi, to say everyone that's here collaborate with the business. And I am so solution driven. I am super solution driven. When I see a problem, I say, what is it that I can do? So I don't dwell too much into problems. I don't at all. And we actually almost couldn't launch the perfume on the day because we didn't have the product. But we sat down and say, what solution can we do in order to launch the product? We came up with the solution, went to someone, we made boxes, we made everything just so that we can launch 2,000 products on the day, and then we launched. Rather than just me in 2 hours having to launch the product and crashing and crying. No, we sit down and say, guys, what's the next best thing we can do? Because people won't actually see from the outside because they don't know your plan. You know your plan. If the main plan doesn't work, go to the second one. Always be solution driven towards your problems.
Hello, my name is Waratwa. How are you?
I'm well, thanks, and you, Waratwa?
I'm great. What is your question?
Okay, Kamalam Dumnomveli from Alex. Thank you so much, baby. Is it fine, Mr. Lekau?
Yes,
okay. Thank you so much for being you, and azange wa give up to your dream. And because abantu baya give up kakhulu ku entrepreneurship bacinga bafanele into ezokwenzeka ngoku kusasa so unemali eninzi. Actually abantu they started businesses ukuthi bafuna ukwenza imali fast, but the way ndive ngakhona istory sakho that's not the case. And if there's something engithanda ukuyisho kuwe ukuthi ngicela ukuye ezikolweni kulabantwana base primary bake bafunde iskill sokwazi ukuzenzela ama perfume icathulo, because now esikolweni sifundiswa kakhulu ukubhala but asifundiswa ama skills. Why ngithi asifundiswa? It is because of nami zange ngifundiswe. So ngicela ukuthi ubheke kakhulu le gang elingana nabo Waratwa, so so that so that bakhule bazi ukuthi entrepreneurship is not just about making money, but it is about building. Thank you so much.
Thank you, thank you. We're about to wrap it up. I know there's more questions, guys, but just for the sake of time, we've got Thibo Touch coming up, and we've got a performance to do just now as well after this interview. But I'll just give Lekau a chance to say something. We'll just get into our last question and then wrap it up.
Okay, thank you. So what we do is when I started Drip, I was focused more on the township and actually the township market. And that's how we actually, I created the township dream. So I looked at myself and said, what is it that other township kids want? What is the ultimate township dream? Is for us to actually be successful, be educated, be able to actually leave the township and just live better life. And then that's how we actually coined the township dream. And as we grew the business, we came up with a new tagline. It's called Live Your Great. And then we said the township dream, we have to turn it into a foundation. So now we have the township dream foundation, and then we're building an education center in Ivory Park, where we're actually going to be taking in kids, training them, teaching them. Because where I come from, there's no electricity. Provide Wi-Fi, provide laptops for kids in the townships. So provide education and light to a child in the township.
Good afternoon, Uncle Tsiamo. What is your last question?
Thank you, Wawa. Great to meet you. Great sessions, Buddha and the team. Great to meet you and listening to Lekau. We've spoken about something about mentorship, where you've mentioned DJ's Boot, there's Suzo Glomos and the Trevor. However, that is, dependent on access. So for someone who's looking at your life and how you have made it as Lekau, and then I'm from Mawopani, where I come from, and I'm like, yo, I want to make it as you. Therefore, we do have, other access to mentorship, which you have mentioned via you reading business books, right? And whether I don't have to be on in a room with Robert Kiyosaki or with whoever it is. In fact, I don't even have to be in the same room as you. If you write a book, I can read, then get on the knowledge. So what are I'd say 3 books that really say change your life? And also, as you were scaling, obviously, and you're getting the likes of Miss D and so forth, and you talk about your failure for 16 years and so forth. However, when you start Drip and you just want to start attracting investors, what are some of the things that you really did, Because then you go into investors and go like, yeah, I've failed for 16 years, but I know this business can work. So what are the things that you really sell them and the vision that you really sell, these investors as you want to scale up and want to attract more investors? Those are my 2 questions. Thank you.
Lovely.
So we don't have investors, and what I really did was that I am still in the process of actually trying to build a relationship with my bank in order for them to just create a facility for the boy, just to say, guys, you can see we're working, you can see the transactions, just create a facility for us to actually use your money in order to build the business. Yeah, but I've never really been in a position whereby I was sitting and I said, I want to approach so and so in order to get funding or an investor. Because, like a boy from Ivory Park, who's going to listen to you? And a lot of times business people always have people approaching them with ideas. So I had to just build something for myself. And that's why I've been building for 16 years. And that's why I actually went to school to say, let me go work in construction, raise capital, and then try to do something, which also failed. Yeah, but Kunji, what was your other question? Sorry?
The 3 books that changed your life.
2, Jay-Z's Decoded, and then Phil Knight's Shoe Dog. Yeah,
nice.
Those are 2 books that actually spoke to me.
By the way, that brother who's just spoken is an amazing entrepreneur in his own right in the entertainment industry. I know he didn't expect me to put him on the spotlight, but he manages some of those most amazing musicians in the country, the likes of Hle, who's an amazing gospel artist. He manages AKA. His business manages not only AKA and Khe, but they also manage Opriqwana. They also manage a countless of a whole lot of other talented individuals. And for that, Tiam, I'm very proud of you, bro. It's been a beautiful past decade to see you rise. For me, having seen you a couple of years ago, coming up in the business to where you are right now, I don't have any doubt that you're going further, and just keep going. Thank you very much for coming through to support today's event. Thank you so much to everybody coming through. And in wrapping it up, your last words, maybe to Lekau, your last question?
I think I said a lot to Lekau. I just want to thank him again for the inspiration. I didn't know about the Township Dream. I hope we can get involved. Obviously, we want shares in Drip, but outside of shares, it would be nice for people to be involved in the foundation and making sure that it's not just Ivory Park that gets an educational facility. We can fundraise, we can build other facilities elsewhere. You spoke about giving access to the internet. Kids that can't afford certain books can go to the internet and learn. They can watch the virtual Mkhukhu and learn. So I'm quite inspired and I'm quite grateful. I'm very happy about the lady who said that after hearing the story, she was touched. And now she's going to go and get more sneakers. And I hope everyone will as well, because your story is our story. And one of the things, as we'll speak about Siamo, Nutiamo asked about getting access to certain people. You were nobody. We were all nobodies. We put our heads down, we worked. And if you work hard and if you have a dream, and if you're unrelenting in your dream, eventually you will get the access to the people who were like you, nobodies, and worked hard. And when we get to the top, then we begin changing people's lives. From my side, I just want to say thank you very much and good luck with the journey ahead. I hope to join it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Penuel. Your last words, Mr. Lekau. The first time we had an interview, your company was starting, and then we did say we have to meet up in 2 years.
Yeah.
To catch up on the story. It's 2 years later. Yeah. You've kept your promise. We're here. And you brought me my size, my babu. By the way, guys, I wear size 13, so I don't just easily get shoes. Explain to them how you make mine, actually. How do you make my size? Because mine is special.
So I actually met DJ's Boo when we were opening our first store at Newtown Junction. Drip is a COVID success story. So we actually built the business during COVID when everyone was at home, frustrated. I was, that guy who was selling online, trending every day, calling Shimza, just bothering everyone. And then when the president announced and said, guys, you can go and buy winter clothes, I called Newtown Junction and said, I need a pop-up store. But I made it look so beautiful that it actually looked like a store. It was actually a pop-up store. So DJ's Boo was actually at Sheldon's.
Legends.
Yeah, at Legends Barber next door. And then I saw him. And then I called my brother, let's go and harass DJ's Boo. Not harass, but bombard him, because hassle him. Because that's what he always does to us, trafficking. Yes. Let's go do it to him. We went there holding sneakers and say, my brother, we're opening a store that side. So he came through, we took a picture, and then he gave me his numbers and said, make size 13. It's like, I don't have size 13, but I'll make it. We opened a soul mold. If there's anyone who knows how to make sneakers, soul molds are actually very expensive. You can spend 50,000 rands just to open a new soul mold. So we opened a soul mold for size 13 specifically for him. We made it available for him, and now he has it. And now it's even in stores.
Everyone cares, but I'm the ambassador of Drip. Shout out to Cassper, man. We're very proud of you. And your collaboration with Cassper, maybe before you go?
Yeah, so the Root of Fame, we're also going to be selling clothing. We're busy developing in the background. I actually teased a t-shirt just last week. It's written the Root of Fame, black and red. We have caps, we have beanies, bucket hats. It's also going to be sold at the Domain store, which is going to be opened in Fostoras, open 170 of those. So me and Cassper Nyovest, we own the Root of Fame. We're going to apparel. We have 2 new beautiful sneakers that we're going to be dropping. And yeah, my last words is I just want everyone to actually just focus on the internet. That's where Drip comes from. We built Drip through the internet. So let's just go back and delete all the negative things that we always post and just focus on business. That is what I did. I pushed Drip so much that it started trending. People started wanting it. And that's how we went into retail and stores, just from the internet and selling through the internet. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, Lekau Sehoana, founder of Drip Footwear. Very proud of you, my brother. Let's rock some pictures. And let me just say to our audiences out there, guys, What you heard today is a story that is just like yours, a story that is just like Penuel's, a story that is just like mine. Besikidla sonke silale enyaweni sonke, sivanga inyawo semashipa sonke, siraya amagawuro sonke, siraya ama-cap sonke siyayazi 4-4 masihlalisane. And we are not saying ukuthi ku easy, siyazi kunzima abantwana basekhaya. Kodwa inxa yokuthi senze lo msebenzi esiwenzayo nale show esiyenza no Penuel nokuthi siqale le podcast nokuthi sithenge le plaza silishintshe senze radio station sizo train abantu from esikhwameni sethu every month to change young people's lives is because umsebenzi kaNkulunkulu, and it's our purpose. It's the work that we have to do to bring up newer and younger generations. But when it comes to entrepreneurship as well, asiyekeleni ukucabanga ukuthi le nto lezi into zabelungu, because izinto seyishintshile manje. I had a great feeling driving down the M1. Besiphuma kwenye activation le Pitori sobona amanye ama clients wami besenza ama activation weMofire. So negenge yami siyalandelana ngemoto zeMofire siyacrossa. A great feeling that we had. We're all wearing Mofire apparel. We're in a Mofire kumbi. The other ones are in a Mofire van at the back. Now to ngapha nangapha ama billboard we Drip. I'm like, wow. Abazali bethu nabokhokho bethu, whom unfortunately passed on in the 80s or in the 90s or in the 70s, whatever they fought for, is slowly starting to manifest. Mtomnyama, yenza izinto zenzeke. Dark isan, isikhathi sethu.
This is the Hustlers Corner.